Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? Alright, here I am. Uh... Actually, I just had an idea. Doing good? Cool. I was changing the category of mine to just chatting since we're gonna be talking about since we're gonna be doing some talking first before we get to the game. Someone okay? You're watching Diva and your knee feels funny? Oh, that must be rough, Isaac. Okay, so for anyone new here, I go by LeopardSamurai. I'm a content creator, but what I'm really focused on as of late is writing and making stories. I've been doing my best to work on my characters, my world, and the stories that I want to write and share with people. And today I'm gonna show you the character that sparked my dream of becoming an author. Animus Yang, the titular leopard samurai. Yeah, this is him, and I've got a story on how he came to be. So, back in summer of 2021, while we were in the middle of a pandemic, one of my best friends that I talk with on Discord had this idea for us to collaborate and write stories in the style of D&D. So he asked me to come up with a character from my world that I've been making since 2016 or 2014. The Animalands has been on the progress of creation for longer than you would think. So I came up with Animus Yang, the leopard samurai. Although at first he didn't start out as a samurai. Let's read his bio here. Okay, born of Japanese and Chinese nationality, Animus spent 6 years on the run with his mom and dad. After a tragic event that separated him from his parents, he was adopted by a Chinese warrior that tried to save him and his family. Thanks to their guidance and training, Animus learned to wield a sword and understand the importance of fighting to prevent bloodshed and preserve peace. However, upon reaching adulthood, he was forced to serve the Empire. Thanks to his closest friend, Shigeru, he escapes the Empire and is now committed to finding his mother and forming an army to rebel against the Empire before the East Continent is destroyed by war. Yeah, so Animus has a pretty tragic backstory. When I first started collaborating with my friend in the stories, I didn't come up with this backstory yet. I just had Animus as a warrior who was suddenly whisked away to another world. And the empire that Animus served has an evil emperor who punishes anybody that tries to leave his services or leave his country. because he is very distrusting of other anthros. In fact, he would go so far as to lock them up or execute them if he finds evidence of them trying to uh, leak his war plans to other countries. And there was also this taboo where where two people of Japanese and Chinese nationality should never have a baby. And because Animus was born, he and his family were the target of the Empire. But thankfully, as the bio said, had one of the warriors who is against their emperor tried to save them. And if you read Animus' prologue story that I posted on For Affinity, Soul Fury, and AO3, then you would know that Animus' father, Solomon Yang, died fighting off the Imperials and giving his wife, Jahua Yang, a pathway to escape. So, while Animus' mom escaped, his dad unfortunately lost his life, and Animus, who was in hiding at the time, after sensing that the coast was clear, he leaves his hiding spot to find his dad on the ground and dead, which really devastated him. And that's when the Chinese warrior, he goes by the name Shan Jin, reveals himself and takes Animus to hide him and get the Imperials off their backs. For a time they did hide, but then Shan Jin was discovered to have found Animus and tried to protect him. So he fought hard to protect Animus, and eventually he and the Emperor decided on a deal. Well, to train Animus to become a powerful Imperial soldier, and once he reaches adulthood, he'll be assigned to become a soldier. This happens once Animus reaches adulthood, which is 18 years old. So from then on, for the next 6 years, Animus has served the Empire and carried out missions for the Emperor. And this is during a time period where they are preparing for war. So Animus was forced to patrol the cities and the villages, fight off invaders. Animus does stick to the morals he was taught by Shan Jin and his father. So he also does missions on the side to help the citizens of China. During that time, he faced discrimination by other Chinese anthros because he was born of Chinese and Japanese blood, which results in him being called filth and treated with disrespect. So Animus goes through a lot, but then he sees some hope for his life when he meets Shigeru, who happens to be the father of Shan Jin. Animus and Shigeru become friends. Sometimes they go on missions together, and their friendship and their budding friendship soon blossoms into them falling in love with each other. But they struggle to express those feelings with each other. I never did show and explain Shigeru and what he's all about, so I really should do a bio Shigeru at one point. There's some Korean and Vietnamese influence. That's a coincidence, Zuomo, but that's pretty cool that you would think that way. Now, once Animus turns 26, that's when things start to get really intense. Because at that time, in the year 2016, the Emperor Wenlei declares war on the East Continent. And that's like countries such as Europe, Japan, and Norway, etc. And that's when he and his war advisor initiate their plan to turn their soldiers and other anthros into powerful feral creatures that they can control and send to battle. Animus is assigned a guinea pig to fight the feral creatures and test their strength, which results either in Animus facing certain doom or him killing the feral creatures. One fight is what crosses the line for Animus, and it involved him fighting a feral creature of someone who was once his friend. After realizing that he killed his friend, I'm not explaining the book, Isaac. I'm explaining Animus' story. Anyway, once Animus realizes that he killed one of his friends, that devastates him. He like runs off to his home and starts crying into his bed pretty much. Shigeru, being someone who really cares about Animus, runs to his side and tries to help him out of his depressive state. With that, the two realize that the Emperor must be stopped. So together, they escape China, and they vow to make their own army to rebel against the Empire. And that's the premise of Animus and Shigeru's story that I want to write and share on For Affinity and other sites in the future. This is everything that I talked about in the prologue stories of Animus and Shigeru that I posted on For Affinity. So I don't mind giving a summary of what happened with them. So yeah, this is everything that I came up with for Animus doing the collaborative story I wrote with my friend. The ideas just came to me gradually as we continued our collaboration, and soon, even after we finished Animus' story in our D&D sessions, and I fleshed it out. I expanded upon it. I created more characters until it became this big thing that I've been working on for 3 years. That's what sparked my passion for writing, and I'm so glad that I stuck with it for this long. Okay, now I told you the story, Animus' story, let's talk about other stuff about him. So, he was born in I should have put his birth date on here. Hold on, I have his birthday written down somewhere. This is what makes Google Docs so handy. He was created on June 14th, 2021. His actual birth date is June. His actual birth date is June 14th, 1990. So currently, he's 34 years old. He is 6 feet 11 inches, 185.9 centimeters tall. He's a leopard, obviously. And his current home is in the kingdom of Okayama, Nippon. That's a desert kingdom that his father was born in. And he was born in Yasu Inaba, Nippon. And, yes. Yes, that's a Persona 4 reference. So, likes and dislikes. Animus loves to cook. He got that out from his mom because when he was a cub, between 5 and 6 years old, he loved watching his mom cook, and he tried cooking some simple dishes with his mom's guidance. A fun fact: his dad is not a good cook, but his mom is. Now, after the war, he expressed more of his interests and becomes less shy. So, one of the things he likes is wrestling. He took an interest in wrestling after watching his boyfriend Shigeru wrestle. I love imagining Animus having a wrestling style similar to King from Tekken. Next, Animus is into bodybuilding. When he was younger, when he was an Imperial, he was not as muscular as how I portray him currently in his illustration. And he was less muscular. But, during, his rebellious phase with Shigeru and his friends, he took an interest in weightlifting, bodybuilding, and eating more protein so he could get stronger. So he went hard on the weightlifting, training, and eating, which is why he got this muscular. And this comes from me personally loving skinny to muscular transformations. And this is also one of the qualities of Animus that shows a physical representation of him growing from a weak and shy leopard to a strong and confident hero. So it's like Hercules, if you want to make that add a reference. Now, another one of his interests is gardening. He loves nature, he really likes flowers, and because he loves cooking, he likes growing fruits and vegetables to use as ingredients for his cooking. He couldn't do it when he was an Imperial, but now that he is free, he's taken more interest in gardening and cooking. In fact, one of his jobs is running a website where people can order food cooked by him, and he'll personally deliver it to them, or have friends of his deliver the food for him. Yeah. Now, he loves Shigeru, the lion that had helped guide him into leaving the Empire and become a rebel hero, to stop the Emperor. That's what I'm most excited about, writing more stories about Animus and Shigeru, portraying their relationship. And there's another person that Animus really likes, Asterion, the bull demon that belongs to my friend that I collaborate with. So, I will say this. There is a multiverse in the Animalands. And there's... Okay, to put it simply, there is an alternate reality where Animus gets together with Shigeru, and there's another alternate reality where he gets together with my friend's character Asterion. And we got this idea after I got the idea of Animus's backstory back in 2021, and my friend liked it so much and saw that Animus and Asterion had stuff in common that he wanted to pair them up as boyfriends and eventually husbands. And I gave the approval right away because I love his character too. Shoutouts to Twin Tails, my best friend who helped inspire me to be a writer, and the man behind all the fun stories that we've been writing for years. Anyway, the last thing that Animus really likes that I put down here is napping. Yeah, Animus uses a lot of energy and is very active in hunting, being a mercenary, and training. So whenever he has free time, he enjoys a nice nap under a tree or out in the sun. Now, dislikes. He he hates the his the Emperor of China, Wang because of everything that because of all the suffering that he inflicted on Animus for murdering his father, for making him be a tool of war. So Animus was definitely ready to fight and take him down. The next thing that Animus dislikes is heights. Now, he's pretty specific about how high he's willing to go. Oh, he doesn't mind climbing trees, but if he's like... I'm gonna skip this song. But if he's like super high up in the air, flying an airship or looking down on a super steep cliff, he gets very uncomfortable. In fact, when he was young, he was outright scared of heights, getting vertigo easily. But one of the things that he worked on conquering is his fear of heights. And eventually he does succeed. He doesn't get super scared of heights anymore, but he still feels some discomfort being up high. But he can handle it just fine now. Animus is a no-nonsense kind of character. Now, over time he does develop a sense of humor and enjoys having fun, but when he was an Imperial, well, he doesn't like it when other people just spouts a lot of confusing nonsense. And so Animus would definitely demand that they take things seriously, especially when they're on duty. And finally, one of Animus's greatest dislikes is loneliness. Yes, the kind of feeling that he felt for a long, long time, ever since getting separated from his family. So, whenever he is around people that he loves and cares for, that's when Animus shines bright. So, yeah, that's more about Animus that I want to talk about. There's a lot of adventures that Animus goes on him and his variants in the multiverse. In fact, I'll share some. So, this is... Let me start over. So, there is one variant of Animus where he becomes a secret agent living in a city by the ocean, and he goes on missions to stop an evil faction that tries to break the bonds between humans and demons. There's a second alternate reality where Animus is with Astarion, and they raise a son, a Black Panther, who also becomes a warrior who sometimes fights by their side, other times fights with a group of friends. That is a fun one. That alternate reality of Animus being a father is my favorite to work on. Now, a third reality, which I'm currently working on with my friend in private, is where Animus is a ninja, and he and Shigeru are together, training to become Master Ninja to rebel against Emperor Wang. But there's a catch. Animus bears the soul of a fell dragon, a dragon of the moon that became corrupt because of Animus's corrupt desires of anger and revenge against the Emperor. Dragon souls are really interesting. Is an interesting concept that I came up with. So there are dragon gods in the Animalands, and there is a law where dragons are the ones that observe the Anthros, and if they see an Anthro of pure heart and they do a lot for the world, they will offer to forge a pact with them and make them a dragon warrior. And being a dragon warrior means they have that dragon god's blessing, and they can use that power for good. Now, the law there's more to this law. An Anthro can never force a pact with a dragon god, because if they do that, then the dragon becomes corrupt by the evil desires of that Anthro, and they turn into a fell dragon. Animus tries to resist forcing a pact with a dragon god, so the Emperor pretty much destroys the dragon's shrine, forces the god to come out of the draconic realm, and kills the dragon god. As a last resort, the dragon had to send their soul to live inside Animus, so eventually they can regain their strength and be reborn. That's all I'll say for now, because again, it's still a work in progress. I understand not everyone is into the whole multiversal thing, but I actually really like it, because it helps me flesh out my characters even more, create like what if scenarios, such as what if they go down this road of life, and what if they meet these characters instead of those characters, and because of that, I can take my favorite and the best qualities I came up with for Animus and put them into the story that I want to write for Animus and Shigeru in the future. And I'm really excited about that. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all I want to say about Animus Yang. So, Chad, what do you think? What are your thoughts? And do you have any questions about Animus or what I've talked about? I'll wait a minute or two. Oh yeah, for anyone wondering, hey, were there any characters that inspired Animus? There was. Yeah. So, one of my... a certain character that was a big inspiration for Animus' character was, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. And it's mostly Animus being a beacon of light and hope for the Animalands. Animus's quality of making friends easily with people. Another character is Hikariku from Octopath Traveler 2. The samurai motif, Animus being honor-bound to fight for his friends. And you know what the crazy thing about Animus's backstory? I came up with it before Hikari was from Octopath Traveler 2 was a thing. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Oh, and Animus also possesses some qualities from Green Saga, and a lot of you know how much I love him in that anime. In fact, the font for Guardian Tales is exactly the same as the font used for the Green Saga logo. Looks like no one has any questions, so I guess we'll end the just chatting part of this stream. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me about Animus Yang, everybody. I'll do my best to get motivated and eventually write Animus' story to share on Fur Affinity, Sulfury, and EO3. In fact, while we take a break, so I can switch to Ocarina of Time, I'll post the links to where you can read my stories. Anyway, for those of you watching on YouTube, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. And for everyone currently watching live on Twitch, I will be right back.